In this lesson, we're going to look at how you multiply polynomials. Multiplication of polynomials is done with a very common math property called the distributive property. And all we're going to do is distribute each term in the first polynomial with each term in the second polynomial. And then if there are like terms, we're going to combine them to get our final answer. So let's take a look at a basic problem here. Pardon me. Here we have two binomials, 1, 2, and 1, 2 terms. So binomials. Notice that we can tell that this one is multiplication and not, say, addition or subtraction or something like that. We know that because whenever we look at it, there's not a plus or a minus sign right here. If it had a plus or minus sign, this would be an addition or subtraction problem, and we'd use a little bit different rule in order to solve it. So all we're going to do here is we're going to distribute this first term to both of these terms right here, and then we're going to distribute the second term to both of the right terms also. So let's just start. 4x times 2x, 4 times 2, multiply the coefficients, and x times x, add the exponents. Remember, that's just a 1 and a 1, so that's x squared. And then we do 4x times negative 2, the second term over here. So that is negative 8x. Nothing to add to the x. Now we got to do the same thing with the plus 3. We're going to multiply it times 2x. 3 times 2 is 6x. And then 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And there are like terms here. There are negative x and a positive 6x to be put together. So 8x squared, negative 8 plus 6 is minus 2x, and minus 6. And there's my final answer, and I've multiplied together those two binomials. Just distribute each term, no matter how many there are, that occur in the first one with all the terms in the second one. They can get a little long, but if you're just careful, they're not all that hard to be able to do those. Here is a monomial, 2x, multiplied by a trinomial, 1, 2, 3 terms right here. So again, this monomial could have been in parentheses. It's just not necessary when it's a monomial to do that. We're going to distribute it to 1, 2, 3 terms, and we'll be done. 2x times 3x squared, 2 times 3 is 6. Add the exponents. Remember, that's assumed to be a 1. X to the first plus x squared is x to the third. And then 2x times x, well, there's nothing to multiply the 2 by but a 1. It's assumed to be right there. And then add the exponents. X to the first and x to the first is x squared. And then finally, 2x times negative 4 minus 8x. Nothing to combine. We have multiplied together this monomial and this trinomial. Here's another monomial times a trinomial, but this time we have two variables in each one. We have a's and b's, so you still follow the same pattern though. We still do 2a squared b times 3ab squared, so 2 times 3 is 6. Add exponents, a squared and a to the first is a to the third, and b to the first times b squared is b to the third. Now multiply 2a squared b times negative 4a, so that's negative 8a to the third, 1 plus 2. Nothing to put with b, so it's just b. And then finally, 2a squared b times negative 2b is negative 4. Nothing to put with the a squared. And add the b's together, b to the second. And there is your answer, since there's nothing to be combined here. Let's do one kind of complex one here. This is a trinomial, 1, 2, 3 times another trinomial. Notice we know it's multiplication again. There's no sign in between those two right there. So we're going to have to distribute the first term in the first one times all 3 in the second, and then the second terms times all 3 in the second, and then the third term times all 3 in the second. We should have 9 terms when we get through with this, and then we can look and see if there are any like terms to be combined. So let's just get started with this. We'll start here with x squared and we're going to multiply that times 2x squared. So that's 2x, add the exponents to the fourth. And then x squared times negative 3x is negative 3x to the third. And then x squared times negative 4y is negative 4x squared y. Notice there wasn't really anything I could put together there. I just wrote all the variables down. Now I do the same thing for the second one in the first polynomial. 2xy has to be multiplied by everything. 2xy times 2x squared is 2 times 2 is 4. X to the third y. And then 2xy times negative 3x is negative 6x squared y. Go down here to the next line. I'm running out of room. And then 2xy times negative 4y is minus 8xy squared, adding together the two y's. Now I'm 2/3 through with this problem as far as distributing. I still have to do the y squared out here at the end of the first one times all three terms. So I'll just get that done. That's plus 2x squared y squared. And then y squared times negative 3x is minus 3xy squared. And then finally y squared times negative 4y is negative 4y, add them together, cubed. Now I'm done with the distributing part. I have to see now if there are like terms that I need to combine, and if there are, I'm going to do that. So I'll just start one term at a time. There's an x to the fourth. I don't see another x to the fourth, so I'm just going to write down the 2x to the fourth. Let's see, negative 3x cubed, and I'll look through here to see if there's another x cubed, and I don't see one. So negative 3x cubed I'm going to just write now. There's a negative 4x squared y, and there's a negative 6x squared y. So that's negative 10x squared y. And then here is a plus 4x cubed y, and there are no others like that. Notice I'm underlining these as I do them. I like to do that, or some people like to mark them out, but that's just so that I know I've used that already and I won't use it again. I won't have to look at it each time. It helps me to make sure I don't miss something. Starting right here, negative 8xy squared, and there's a negative 3xy squared. So that's a total of negative 11xy squared. And then here to the next line to right, there is a plus 2x squared y squared. Don't see any more of those. Plus 2x squared y squared. And then out here at the end, there's a minus 4y cubed. Always a good idea to just double check it, but if I've combined all of my like terms correctly, that should be my final answer. I simply distributed combined like terms. And that's it for how you multiply polynomials together. If you'd like to take a look at other topics that we have math lessons on, you can go to www.mymatheducation.com, and we'd love to have you check out some more of our topics. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.